Hey everybody, John Van Dyke here for New Jersey Exposed. Today is Thursday, December 14th, 2023. Time is 11:48 a.m. Jersey time. Okay, we have an update on one of our local heroes here, and it's good news, people. I reported back a few months back about a Seabright police officer by the name of Sergeant Bennett, I forget his first name. He was stalking, he was dating a girl, Badge Bunny, and I guess she rejected him after a while, and like a true thug that some of them are, psychopaths, he used violence to try to keep the relationship together. Unfortunately, he took it too far. So on the 11th, the Monmouth County Prosecutor's Office had a release. There's the site right there. And it reads as follows. Former Seabright police officer sentenced to 5 years for crimes against ex-girlfriend. There it is. You can find a link on my Facebook page, Gunnison Undercover. You can read the whole thing there yourself. Okay, let's find out what happened to this well-trained professional hero. You know, the type that are always out there risking our lives as they protect and serve the government. Okay, it says a former Seabright police officer has been sentenced to 5 years in state prison for a series of crimes he committed against an ex-girlfriend, Monmouth County Prosecutor Raymond S. Santiago announced Monday. Erich A. Bennett, 47, who is a big guy. I remember seeing this guy around. He's a big guy. Is also permanently barred from ever again holding public office in the state of New Jersey. During a plea hearing that took place in September, Bennett acknowledged that between October 2022 and January 2023, he acted like an asshole in the course of conduct that put the victim in fear, to include at one point disabling security cameras on the exterior of the home and causing damage to her property by slashing the tires and keying the car. He further admitted to driving by her residence and threatening her with physical harm, including sexual mutilation, both in person and via fake social media account. Additionally, Bennett stated that while on duty with the Seabright Police Department, he conducted unauthorized lookups of the victim and 4 of her associates in law enforcement databases, absent of any legitimate law enforcement purpose. Now, they also forgot to mention that he was using a township vehicle to do some of this nonsense. So I don't know why he didn't get, why didn't they do a official misconduct charge of him. But there was a plea bargain here because he went and hired the bad cop lawyer here in Monmouth County to represent him. He's this lawyer, Ansel law firm. They are the go-to law firm. If you're a bad cop and get caught, they will broker deals for you. They are a brokering company. Okay, Bennett was arrested without incident in late January 2023. The charges he admitted to earlier this year include third-degree computer theft, third-degree criminal mischief, fourth-degree hindering apprehension, and fourth-degree stalking. Monmouth County Superior Court Judge Joseph W. Oxley sentenced Bennett on Friday, further noting that he was also being ordered to surrender all his privately owned firearms, submit to a permanent restraining order barring him from ever again contacting the victim, and pay restitution in the amount of nearly $4,800. The victim was present for the sentencing hearing and read a statement into the record. And let me say to the victim out there, she did the right thing. She stood up to this thug and she followed through with it, and she didn't let him get away with it. The defendant swore an oath to keep the public safe from individuals capable of all type of conduct he ultimately committed. See, now I don't believe that. Their job is to enforce laws. So if he saw somebody doing something that was against the law and he stopped, yeah, indirectly he is protecting. But to say he gets in the car and goes out there every day and protects the public, that's misleading. Let's see. The defendant swore an oath to keep the public safe from individuals capable of type of conduct he ultimately committed, making an egregious betrayal of the public's trust. Prosecutor Santiago said, "We strongly commend the victim's courage and the fortitude in this matter. The case was prosecuted by Monmouth County Assistant Prosecutor Melanie Falco, Director of the Monmouth County Prosecutor's Office Professional Responsibility Unit. Bennett was represented by Mitchell J. Ansell, Esquire, with an office in Ocean Township. So now I also want to add one other thing here on Seabright Police Department's Facebook page. Ever since this went down back in whenever it was, January, February of this past year, they blocked all comments. You can't comment on their Facebook page anymore. The chief over there, what's his first name? I forget his first name. Anyway, his last name is Friedman. Chief Friedman over there, he's a coward. As far as I'm concerned, he was trying to cover and protect this bad cop by doing that because he never acknowledged one time about this arrest. And I think the taxpayers, aka their employer, has a right to publicly know what their employees are up to, and he chose not to do it. He chose never to acknowledge it, never to publicly say anything. He wouldn't respond to any of my private requests to him. So in my opinion, he's a coward. And that also triggered a Blue Willie gobbler out there. And let me get to that story there. I'll read that one to you also. I had put a video up. If you find it, you look on my YouTube channel, go back about 9 months. It says Seabright Police Chief covering for his recently arrested officer, and the chief's name is Brett Friedman. So here's a video right there where I called him out on it. Of course, I triggered one of them gobblers out there. It looks like his name is James McGarry. That's McGarry. Not sure who he is, but he posted on here. He says he posted 4 months ago. You people are all assholes. The chief of police has numerous more pressing matters than worrying about a Facebook. If a Facebook is updated, especially airing of dirty laundry for the local retiree yentas to talk about. Aw, well, isn't that nice? So I had responded, taxpayers who pay the salaries don't have a right to know what their employees are up to. Keep covering for bad police. And I also mentioned what pressing issues like how much revenue his officers are generating for the town's budget outside of motor vehicle revenue enforcement. There isn't diddly going on in Seabright, New Jersey. You know, as far as the chief not having enough time, that's bullshit. Okay, let me give you an example. When that alleged child predator, Richard Conti over at Howell Township, got busted trying to hook up with a 15-year-old. That chief of police, the former chief there, Andy Kudrick, he came right out and had a press conference. He did not hide under his desk or in his office or not take phone calls. He came out right away. Same thing with Wall Township PD when they just arrested one of their officers a few months back for allegedly stealing. They wasted no time. They posted it right up on their Facebook page. I believe they pasted the prosecutor's office announcement. So, you know, kudos to those two. And Wall Township and Howell Township are a lot bigger and a lot busier than Seabright. So, Mr. McGarry, your statement doesn't hold any water. People find time to do the things that are important to them. And Brett Friedman found it important not to respond to it, and he further made it was important to him to block all comments. You can't make any comments on there now, and they have not put anything updated on there for months. So I don't know what's going on, but as far as I'm concerned, Brett Friedman, who used to be a dispatcher and worked himself up the ladder to become chief, again, I'll say, you're a coward. Okay, you're a coward. So anyway, so we have a hero here. Let me see if I can get his picture. Well, I'll put it up there while we're talking. He's going to jail for 5 years, and another badge bunny out there. Learned the hard way. Fortunately, she's still alive. I think if she hadn't called the police or things didn't go down the way they did, she might be dead by now, because this guy seems to be very violent, and he doesn't handle rejection from women very well. And I find guys who are like that, these psychopaths, narcissists who like to control people, they don't like it when you don't abide by their rulings. And you know, you take that combined with the fact that the cop's a big muscle head, and I'm sure the woman's probably not big, and he just feels that size and muscle, intimidation, and violence is a way that he can control her and get her back in his life. Unfortunately, he did it all wrong. And I'd love to know why she broke up with him the first time. He managed to talk her into coming back the second time, and then she dumped him again. So I really, if that victim's out there or anybody knows the story behind that, what happened between the two, why they broke up, send me a private message. I'd like to know. So anyway, I'll put the link in the description. It's also on my Facebook page, along with many other stories. Go read the story yourself and let me know what you think in the comments section. Another Monmouth County hero off to prison. I want to say Monmouth County is ground zero for bad cops. We have so many bad cops getting busted here in Monmouth County. It almost seems like every other day it's happening. I'm John Van Dyke for New Jersey Exposed. Till next time, people.